Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here with a different video. As you guys could probably tell by the title, I am going to be speaking up about my depression and anxiety struggle. It's just a really hard video that I never thought I would be able to make, but you know, there's a lot of people that struggle with this, and there is a lot of videos out, but I feel like everybody has a different, background of how they're affected by this, and sadly there's not a lot of support for people that suffer with that. We get judged by it. So by experience, it is very hard to speak up about this subject, especially because when I've spoken about it to other people, just regular people, friends, even family members, they're like, oh, you're just crazy. And no, don't ever let that bother you, because we're not crazy, first of all. And second of all, if you suffer from this, you're not alone. I just want to make that very clear. You're never alone. And I know that this is very hard, and a lot of people suffer worse than others, and I'm just going to speak up about my story. So if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so, and let me know in the comment section down below what other type of videos you guys would like to see on my channel. And I'm just gonna get started. So I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety when I was 13 years old. I remember I was in 7th grade, and how it started was, I would just, be normal, and all of a sudden I would just pass out. It was a really, really scary moment for me, because I didn't know, what was going on. I was just, one moment I was okay, and then the other moment I was on the floor. It was just hard. And I hope I don't get emotional talking to you guys, because like I said, this is a very hard video, and like I said, people come from different backgrounds on how they've suffered from this. So yeah, so I would just start on the floor, like out of nowhere, I'll just be on the floor, and then I don't really remember how it would happen, because I don't remember. Like I said, I would just be on the floor, and then out of nowhere I would just wake up at the hospital or at the nurse's station, and they would still take me to the hospital. I was literally at the hospital, I'm gonna say about 3 or 4 or 5 times a month. So this would happen every month. So I would go to the doctor, they checked my heart, they did all these tests, and they just didn't know what was wrong, and neither did I just thought I was dying, but I mean, I didn't. So it was really hard. And then my mom's diabetic, so I'm really thankful that my mom never got sick through this, because I think if I were to be a mother, I'm not a mother yet, but I think if I were to be a mother and I would see my kid just be in a bed and you don't know what's going on, I think I would go crazy. And I'm really thankful that my mom, I actually thank God that my mom never got sick. And I just wake up and I would just see my mom crying by my bedside, and I would just be like, well, I don't know what's wrong. We didn't know what was wrong. So then one time, finally, like after all the tests were done, I'm my pediatrician, she asked me if I ever felt some type of way, and that's basically they ask you if you ever feel like you're not worth anything, or sorry, I'm about to get emotional. They start assessing you if you've been diagnosed medically. What kind of questions they ask. They ask if you ever like I said, feel like you want to harm yourself, like you're not worth anything. It's just difficult questions, and I basically answered yes to all of them. So then that's when she turned around and she she said that I had that. So then I started with counseling, and then going to the psychiatrist to give meds, which I'm not a really med person. I don't take medication unless I'm like literally in a lot of pain. because I just don't like medication. So, I went to the counselor, I would sit down and talk, and at first I was just like, really? I have to sit down and talk to somebody about my problems? Like, people already, in school, they were already talk crap that I was pregnant or, stuff. At that age, I wasn't even thinking about none of that shit, So it hurt also to be bullied, because I was also bullied throughout school year. I basically dropped out my freshman year because of that. So anyways, I started taking medication, and then that didn't work out. I remember like a month in, I would feel worse. Medication made me feel worse. And I would just feel, I was that type of person that I would get home from school and I would be on the phone with friends. The little friends that I had, we would be on the phone. I would be on the computer, playing games. At that time, it was MySpace. I would be, very active. And then when I started taking this medication, it was just like I was another different person. Like I was not myself. And I didn't feel like myself either. And I would just come home, eat, and go to sleep. And even my mom was like, are you okay? She would question me, and I would just be like, yeah. But I would be very low energized. I wouldn't even, it would have just made me feel worse in general. So then one day, like I said, probably like 3 weeks into the treatment, my aunt passed away, and I was really close to my aunt, and she passed away. And it was a really hard time for me because I was already suffering with what I was suffering already, and I just didn't take my medication. And you're not supposed to stop taking medication, especially if it's like that. You can't stop taking it cold turkey, because you'll have withdrawals. And that morning, when I found out that my aunt passed away, I just didn't take it. And I didn't have a reaction when my cousin and my aunt told me that she had passed away. I didn't have a reaction till I was in school. I started crying, and then without thinking, I grabbed the bobby pin. I still remember this. I was in my literature class, and I just grabbed the bobby pin and I took out the little edges from the bobby pins, and it was just one. So I just started cutting myself, and I got taken into the nurse's station, and they called my parents. So I have scars in my hands from when I used to do that, and honestly, I felt like I was alone, and I just didn't know what to do, especially because these things would happen to me in school. So I was already being seen as the crazy one. It was just a scary moment for me, and just people didn't really understand what it is to go through this. I have one good friend that she was there with me the first time that I got my anxiety attack, and I'm never gonna forget her, because she was there for me. And Bianca, if you're watching this video, I just want to say thank you, and that really meant a lot, that you really have you stuck with me through that hard time, and you were always there for me. So I had that I had her, and it's just, like I said, it's very, very, very hard. And it's even hard talking about it, because I'm actually worried if people are going to be like, oh, you're just doing this for attention and this and this and that, because people are very, especially right now, everything that's going on in this beauty industry is just so effed up. But the point is that to struggle with this, I feel like I didn't have a childhood that I enjoyed, because I was constantly in doctor's appointments, and I just didn't enjoy my childhood as I wish I did. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying that I wish I lived a better childhood, but unfortunately I didn't. Like a few weeks ago, I asked on Instagram, ask me anything, and somebody asked me if I had one wish, what would it be? And that wish would be to go back in time and to not have what I have. To enjoy, being a child and, just go back. But unfortunately, that can happen, and things happen to me for a reason. Maybe to probably, this video may reach, to people that are suffering from this depression and anxiety, panic attacks. I don't know, but I would ask myself, or not myself, but I would just, ask out loud sometimes, why am I still here? Why haven't I died? Because I would wish that I would die many times. And I did try to commit suicide many times, and for some reason I just, never did. I have been admitted to, a mental health hospital about 3 or 4 times. Some of them I admitted myself because I just couldn't take it, because this depression, sometimes depression does take the best of you as much as you try. For me, I try to fight it, and I thankfully haven't had an anxiety attack for over years already. Well, actually I'm lying, because I did have an anxiety attack last year when I was going through a rough time. I think you guys already know what I'm talking about. If some of you guys watched the video and if you follow me on social media, you guys know what I'm talking about. I just really don't want to repeat it. But when I used to get them, like I said, I would be so, blacked out. I didn't know. There's one time, the last one that I had that was severe, I woke up in the hospital. I didn't know what my name was. I didn't know nothing at all. And at that time I did wake up with an IV and everything. It was scary. I remember it was in 2008, I believe it was. Yeah, it was in 2008. It was literally a day before Valentine's Day that this happened, and I literally felt like that was it for me. That's the day that I asked, why am I here? What is my purpose? And a lot of times I still ask myself that, because it's like, why, sometimes it's like, why am I still here? Like I said, I ask a lot, like, why am I still here? But like I said, maybe, I'm here to help other people out that do suffer from this, because this is very hard. And, for me, I don't take any medications. I don't. I take natural supplements. I don't like medication, so I don't take it. And my therapist, when I was going to therapy, well, I still go to therapy, I just haven't made an appointment yet because I started working, and it's kind of hard to manage my schedule right now, but I still go to therapy. I just need to make an appointment. But my first therapist that I had, she made it very clear to me that everything, it was all mental. And I think it is, because I have actually managed to, stay positive. And even though it's super hard, especially when you deal with this, super hard, she did, like I said, she made it clear that that was all mental. And a tip that has helped me, that she told me, is whenever I feel that I'm going to have an anxiety attack or that I start feeling down, she told me to just sit down and go to a happy place, to think in your head about a happy place for wherever you would want to be, instead of feeling the way that you feel. So that helped me out tremendously, because whenever I do feel like that, I do, I just like go to a happy place. I start thinking about stuff that makes me happy, and that helped me a lot, like I said. And seriously, if you are dealing with this, I suggest you do go to a therapist. I know it sounds crazy that you're gonna go sit down and talk about your problems to another person that you think they're gonna judge you, it does help to talk to somebody else. Also, another thing that she helped me out was to do a journal and write down your thoughts. Write down how you feel. There's times where I do write on my phone, especially on my note section. I write, today I feel like, you know, etc, 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 etc. But when I used to write on a journal, I would write down everything how I felt. I would, since I couldn't go to like a therapist at that time, like, you know, sometimes you wish you know you have a therapist right there at the moment when you're feeling like crap, but you know you don't have anyone because you have to wait till your appointment. I would get a journal, start writing all my thoughts down, how I felt, everything, let it all out on a piece of paper, everything, write down. And when I was done doing that, that was like that felt better. And afterwards, I wouldn't go back and read it. I would grab, you know, the notebook and, you know, write, you know, rip out the page and burn it. Because those thoughts is what I felt that moment, at that moment, and I don't want to go back and read it again. I would just, like I said, go back to the journal, rip out the page, and burn the paper. Because I don't want to go back to read that. You don't want to go back to what was making you feel that way. And that's what has helped me. And then, like I said, I was bullied throughout my school year. You know, I had bullies, and I think a lot of, you know, kids do suffer from this too. And it's like they don't understand. Like I said, people don't understand how it is to live with depression and anxiety. They just start calling you psycho, start calling you crazy, you know, you're bipolar, I've been called a bunch of names, psycho, crazy, you name it. At one point it would get to me, but now it doesn't, because I know I'm not. So, you know, go ahead and talk everything you want. I'm not. It used to get to me, now it doesn't. And honestly, I feel like I have gotten stronger emotionally stronger by just trying to stay positive, doing things that, also that's one thing that I'm gonna say, do something that you enjoy, a hobby. For me, it was beauty. So for me, when I started makeup, I did it because when I would feel depressed, I would just I would live in my room. When I was living at my parents' house, I would live in my room. I would just close it and lock it, put music up, grab a mirror. At that time, I didn't have expensive makeup. I would just grab whatever was available, and I would just sit down and start creating looks. That was my getaway. For a lot of people, it could be going a walk to the beach, whatever. Do whatever makes you happy. Don't try to please everyone, because we're never ever going to please people. Never. Always try to please yourself. Always do things for yourself, because that would be me. I would think about other people and I wouldn't think about myself. And so for me, like I said, for me, beauty was my getaway, my zone. That was my safe zone. And that's how I got into beauty, was from this depression phase. And honestly, it has helped me a lot. I wish there was more support groups for people that suffer from depression and anxiety, but unfortunately there really isn't. Or if there is, I haven't really heard of them. You know, depression and anxiety starts from home, guys. It does. For me, it started because when I was younger, like I said, I didn't have a great childhood, and I don't really want to get into so much detail. Maybe in another video I will. But for me, my depression started from seeing violence at home. My dad used to be very violent. With my mom, I would see violence, you know, coming from that aspect. My dad would be an alcoholic, so he wouldn't really be there for me. And he would just come home and, you know, start beef with my mom, and, you know, the violence was started from there. So at one point I hated my dad. And I don't think that's okay for a child to ever hate a parent. But thankfully my dad turned around, turned his life around, and now, it's a better place for everyone, and I'm also in a better place. I wish I was in a better place, but I'm still working on it. But for me, my depression and anxiety started from home. And then all the bullying, that added up. So it's like, just try to stay positive even though I know it's so hard. At the end of the day, it's our life that matters. Because if you don't watch out for yourself, no one else will. If you don't watch out for your health, no one else will. So we have to better ourselves for ourselves. So if you ever feel like you're not worth anything, you feel depressed, you just feel like at the lowest of the lowest, just know that people do care about you. There's a lot of people that will be hurt if we were to hurt ourselves. There is people out there that will suffer from it. Maybe for us it would be easier because we're just, okay, I'm gone. But it's not like that. There's people that really care about us, and don't feel like that. If you ever feel like that, what I used to do also, if I didn't want to go admit myself to the mental health hospital, I would call the suicide hotline that they have. And I would spend hours on the phone with somebody, talking to them how I felt. And that honestly also helps a lot. Because I honestly think if I wouldn't have, tried to be strong, I would have probably already been dead. And I wouldn't be here sharing my story with you guys. And like I said, it's really hard to even be talking about this. And not to get, I'm trying so hard not to cry and get emotional. But, at the end of the day, there's many of us that suffer from this. And this is why sometimes also I disappear from social media and I stop uploading, because sometimes depression just kicks my ass. But I get up, back up, and I'm like, nope. You are not going to possess of my life. You're not going to take away what I want to do because you want to make me feel a certain way. And I just get up and I fight it. It takes time to control things. So don't think that, if you control it, you're lucky that you can control. It took me years to be able to control my anxiety attacks. It took me years. So, it's just a matter of time till you get better. Like I said, I don't take any medications. I just take natural supplements, and that's it. I hate medication, and I will never take it unless I really need it. And especially because I work in the medical field, I know how it is with medications and all the side effects. I'm scared of all the side effects, so that's why I don't take medication, especially after what happened to me. Well, it was really, on my end, but having those withdrawals, trying to kill myself and all that, no. I know that I'm worth a lot, and so are you. So like I said, if you ever feel like that, don't feel like that. Try to reach to somebody. I would actually be very happy if you guys feel like you don't have somebody to talk to and you're just feeling sad. If you guys want to email me, my email is down below. I will gladly reply to you and speak with you. Also, if you want to DM me on my Instagram, you can go ahead and do so. Because like I said, sometimes we just need somebody to hear us out. And all I have to say is, you have to stay strong. And I know it's hard, because I still go through it. I live with it. We're going to live with it for the rest of our lives. And honestly, everybody deals with depression and anxiety. Like I said, it's just many of us just have it worse than others. So like I said, I just wanted to share with you guys a little bit about my story, my background of where I come from, because I have never really even, talked about this on my channel or anything. I do talk about it sometimes in my Instagram. I posted a while back in my Instagram story something about depression and anxiety and stuff. But like I said, don't ever feel alone. Reach out to somebody. Don't ever let it just, get the best of you, because you're worth a lot. So with that being said, I just wanted to share a little bit of my story. I hope this video helps some of you. And if, like I said, I'm just one email away, one DM away. I will be more than happy to respond to you. And stay strong and positive, even though it's very hard. And I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.